Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll talk about dividing polynomials by using the method of synthetic division. This lesson's been prepared for students who are taking the grade 12 Advanced Functions MHF 4U course. Before I get started, I want to mention two things. Number one, synthetic division most likely will become your more favorite method of dividing polynomials. And number two, I must mention that it does have a limitation, and the only limitation it has is the fact that it can only be used when we are dividing by a linear polynomial. So what that means is that the divisor, dx, must be a first-degree polynomial. So we're going to get started with our first example. And now, first example, I chose the divisor to be in the form x minus b. So it's a first degree polynomial. And another special thing it has is the fact that the coefficient of x is 1. In synthetic division, we do not work with all the terms or the whole terms, but we just use the coefficients in order to perform the division. Now, needless to say, just like in any polynomial division, we want the terms listed from highest to lowest degree. So we're using the coefficients 3, -5, -7, and -1 from the dividend. And we'll write them all down. So here goes 3, -5, -7, -1, and I would space them out a little bit to give myself a bit of room. And next thing you want to do is draw a nice, cool half rectangle, just like this. And the next thing we want to do is identify the value of b in our divisor. So the divisor is in the form x minus b. Our divisor is x minus 3. And that makes the value of b equal to positive 3. You should write, we write number 3, which are the value of b right here, aligned with the rest of the coefficients in the polynomial. Now you can think of the value of b also as the value of x that makes the divisor 0. So you can think of it this way: x minus 3 equals 0 if x equals 3. So that would be the value of b. Now, there goes the process. Step 1, you are going to bring down the first coefficient, the number 3. And then we'll multiply the number 3 here by the value of b here. So number 3 will be multiplied by the value of b, which is also 3 in this case. And 3 times 3 equals 9. Next thing you do, you add. -5 plus 9 equals 4. Guess what? This time now we multiply number 4 by the value of b, which is 3. And 4 times 3 equals 12. So we write 12 right below the next coefficient, -7. And guess what again? You add. -7 plus 12, 5. Next thing we do is multiply 5 by the value of b, which is 3. And 5 times 3 is 15. And -1 plus 15 is positive 14. And you see that we got a bunch of numbers in here. But do we really understand or know what they mean? Maybe yes, maybe not. So we want to see for ourselves. What we're going to do is perform the long division, which we are very familiar with and very confident to follow. So I'm going to do this on the side. You don't have to do this all the time. It's just for me to explain how the synthetic division works and why it works. So I'm going to use the long division to divide 3x cubed minus 5x squared minus 7x minus 1 by x minus 3. Now remember that we check and see first how many times x goes into 3x cubed. And we say that x goes into 3x cubed 3x squared times. So we take that 3x squared and we multiply it by x minus 3. And we'll say that that will give us 9x cubed minus 3x cubed minus 9x squared. Sorry, 3x cubed minus 9x squared. And then draw the line. I'll make the line super straight. That's because my iPad can do it. And I will subtract what we got here. And 3x squared minus 3x cubed minus 3x cubed, that's 0x cubed, negative 5x squared minus negative 9x squared, that's positive 4x squared. We'll bring the next term, negative 7x, down. And now we're comparing x with 4x squared. Check and see how many times x will go into 4x squared, and it goes 4x times. And here we go again. We're going to multiply 4x by x minus 3. And that will give 4x squared. And then minus 12x. Draw a straight line again. Subtract. And we get 0x squared plus 5x. And we're going to bring negative 1 down, minus 1. We're comparing now how many times x goes into 5x. We'll say 5 times. And 5 times x minus 3 is 5x minus 15. Draw the line again. And subtract. Oopsie. And we get down here positive 14, 0x. Okay, so let's take a look at what we obtained as an answer. Here we have the quotient equal to 3x cubed plus 4x plus 5. So if you take a look at the numbers you obtained in here in the synthetic division, or in this process, let's say, we notice that number 3 is the coefficient of the first term, number 4 is the coefficient of the second term, number 5 the coefficient of the last term in the quotient. So now we're thinking, but how do I figure out this one in here? So if I didn't do this part, if I didn't do this one, well, remember that when we are dividing a third degree polynomial, say for example, if you are dividing x to the power of 3 by x to the power of 1, you get, as a quotient, you will get a second degree term, right? So we know that when you multiply a third degree polynomial by a first degree polynomial, we're going to get a quotient of second degree as well. And when you get a second degree polynomial, that means the first term here must be your x squared term. This will be your x term, and this will be your x to the power of 0, or the constant term. So in order to figure out your quotient, you just stick the variables accordingly. The signs of the coefficients will be the operation between the terms in the quotient as well. And we'll say that the quotient qx is 3x squared plus 4x plus 5. Now guess what this number here at the very end of the equation represents? It represents the remainder. So the remainder is 14. Okay, so feel free to practice an example from your homework in the meantime, and then listen to your next example, which is slightly different than the previous one. We are dividing by ax minus b this time. I'm going to make this one gray. Okay, so we have to divide the polynomial negative 19x squared plus 6x cubed plus 18x minus 20 by 2x minus 5. First thing that I want to do is list the terms from highest to lowest degree. So we have 6x cubed as our first term, minus 19x squared, plus 18x minus 20, divided by 2x minus 5. And now I can see the coefficients more easily. So there are 6, negative 19, positive 18, negative 20. I'll list them. 6, negative 19, positive 18, negative 20, and I'll draw the half rectangle.